My name is, well, they call me Jay. Life wasn't easy for me for the past 30 years. It was a constant struggle. Every day felt heavy, like carrying a mountain on my shoulders. I knew pain from a young age. It was always there, lurking in the shadows. I faced physical and verbal abuse at just the age of 3, and, at times, was sent to bed hungry. My clothes were old and torn. My parents mistreated me. They never cared. I was born into a family who didn't want me. My father, he wasn't in my life, and it wasn't a mistake. It was by choice. I longed for a different life. One with laughter, joy, and affection. I dreamt of going to school, of learning to read and write. But I couldn't even do that. Kids picked on me daily. Girls used to call me fat, ugly, and dirty. The boys bullied me constantly. The teachers was useless. They were just as bad. They stood there and done nothing about it. Hell, even the teachers belittled me. But my dreams seemed impossible, being told I wasn't shit. I'm not going anywhere in life. The hate I received at home, at school, and at the Boys and Girls Club, I couldn't catch a break. The world felt dark and unfair, always left out of the mix, never included in anything. I was just a child, lost in a sea of despair. Fear became my constant companion. It's been beaten into me mentally and physically. It whispered in my ear, telling me to stay silent, to hide. The world outside my small room was a dangerous place, full of shadows and monsters. I'm not speaking of actual monsters, I'm speaking of the family I lived under, flesh and blood. My main oppressors. I felt video games, cartoons, music, boxing, wrestling, and martial arts was my only peaceful moments. I was afraid of everything. Afraid of the dark, afraid of loud noises, afraid of the people who were supposed to protect me. Yes, I was afraid of them, afraid they would one day beat me to death. Afraid one day they grabbed me. It would have been my final breath. My heart pounded in my chest, a drumbeat of anxiety that never ceased. I felt trapped, like a bird in a cage, unable to fly, just pecking the cage in fury. My spirit felt broken, crushed under the weight of my fear. I longed to be free, to break out of this prison of terror. One day, a flicker of hope appeared. The King James Bible, a pen, a notebook. Even the note section in my phone became my therapy. I read the stories of courageous men and women, their strength and resilience. I was inspired by their trials and tribulations. I realized they have been through worse, they faced higher challenges, traveled on more difficult roads. Their words ignited a spark within me, a tiny ember of fear but motivation to become stronger. For the first time I dared to dream of a different future. I realized I was not alone. There were others who had faced darkness, who had emerged from the shadows stronger. Their stories gave me a glimmer of hope, a reason to keep fighting. The people who hurt me were not strangers like I mentioned earlier. They were the people closest to me, the ones who were supposed to love and protect me. Their betrayal cut deep, leaving scars that ran soul deep. They used their power to control me, to keep me trapped in a cycle of pain and fear. Their words were weapons, their actions designed to break my spirit, but I refused to let them win. I knew I had to fight back, not just for myself, but for all those who had been silenced. Their faces, etched with pain and resignation, fueled my determination. Their silence became my battle cry. Section 5. The Climb to Freedom. Breaking free from the chains of my past was a long and arduous journey. It was a climb up a steep mountain, with every step forward met with resistance. But I refused to give up. I wasn't letting no crabs in a barrel hold me down any longer. I clung to the hope and determination that the Lord had ignited in me, the belief that I deserved a better life. I drew strength from the stories of those who had overcome adversity, their resilience my guiding light. I learned to fight back, not with physical force but with the power of my voice. I used my words as weapons, speaking out against the injustice that I had endured for so long. The pain I had endured did not disappear overnight. The scars remained, a constant reminder of the battles I had fought. But I refused to let them define me. I embraced my scars, for they were a testament to my strength and resilience. They were a symbol of my journey, a reminder of how far I had come. I would not be ashamed of my past. Instead, I would use my experiences to empower others, to show them that healing was possible. I would transform my pain into purpose, my suffering into a source of strength for others. With each step I took away from the darkness, my voice grew stronger. I spoke out against injustice, against the systems that kept the vulnerable trapped in cycles of abuse and silence. I discovered my purpose, to be a voice for the voiceless, to fight for those who had been silenced. I used my platform to advocate for change, to demand a world where every child had the opportunity to reach their full potential. My message resonated with others who had faced similar struggles. Together, our voices became a chorus of hope, a symphony of defiance against the forces that sought to keep us down. Emerging from the darkness, I was blinded by the light of a new dawn. The world was full of possibilities, a canvas upon which I could paint my own destiny. I had found my freedom. I embraced life with open arms, savoring every moment of joy and wonder. The fear that had haunted me for so long no longer held its power over me. I had stared into the abyss and emerged stronger. My journey was far from over, but I knew I had the strength to face whatever challenges lay ahead. I had risen from the ashes, stronger and more determined than ever before. My story is not unique. There are countless others who have endured unimaginable pain and suffering. But within each of us lies the potential for greatness, the strength to overcome even the darkest of times. Never give up hope. Never let anyone silence your voice. You are stronger than you think, braver than you believe. Embrace your scars, for they are a testament to your resilience. Rise above the challenges, rise above the pain. The world needs your voice, your strength, your story. Together, let us create a world where everyone has the opportunity to rise from the ashes and soar. Don't let bitterness and hatred reside in your heart.